Hey guys, welcome back to my channel for The Watch. This is your girl, Miss K. If this is your first time coming across my channel, welcome. Please be sure to subscribe if you like the vibe and hit that notification bell so you know when I upload more videos like this one. Today I'm going to be talking about the latest episode of House of the Dragon, Season 2, episode number 5, called Regent. So this is pretty much just me going over some highlights of the episode. We did talk about it last night after the show when we went live, but there are some things that I need to clear up, some misunderstandings that I had on my own, and then also some things that I forgot to follow up on, okay? So I do want to mention that I said last night that I didn't really appreciate that they didn't give Rhaenys her flowers. They didn't even have like a funeral for her, a burial or anything like that. I thought they would do a little more for our girl, but you know, whatever. I do feel like Daemon at Harrenhal is just a stretch. Like, I feel like they're just going on with it a little too much, and I'd love them to move forward with it. But for me, it's just showing more and more that Daemon can't be trusted. Well, Rhaenyra can't trust him. I don't think he would take Rhaenyra out or fight against her, but I mean, you can't call it at this point, because if he knows that she's the queen and his brother named her his heir, he's gonna go against his brother if he tries to, you know, raise up his own army and go to King's Landing and claim the throne. So there you have that. One thing that I did misunderstand was the whole interruption when the Lords of the Riverlands came to him in the Hour of the Wolf. They were basically telling him about all of the looting and the horrible things that was happening in the land, and the people that were doing these things had Targaryen banners, right? Which was Rhaenyra's banners and things like that. So I was thinking that maybe whoever Jace was working with, like the phrase, or that maybe they were operating pretty quickly or whatever, but that didn't make any sense. So, you know, sometimes when I first watched the episode, I don't have much time to think about what's going on. So now I realized that was basically like Daemon's plan to get the Brackens to basically bend the knee to him, right? When he told Willem, do your worst, you know. But the stupid thing is, if he's telling Willem to do his worst, why would they be sporting proudly Targaryen banners? That's the part that gets me. And that's the part where Daemon should be really, really pissed off, right? Like, I told you that they're not supposed to know that we're doing these things. And I don't know what was wrong with me for even thinking that Jace would have anything to do with sending a bunch of men to loot towns and do all kinds of nonsense. Like, I don't see it. So I was bugging out, guys. Please forgive me. Second watch, second chance. Now, last night during the live, I said to my co-host Moochie, I said, how could someone call a dragon a traitor? And I said, we'll talk about that later. I never got to express myself on that. So here it is. It's something very simple, which I'm sure you probably already guessed. It's stupid to call a dragon a traitor, because a dragon don't care about who sits on the Iron Throne. Like, they're going to be loyal to their rider. And that's who Meleys was loyal to, right? They're going to carry out the commands of their rider. So I just don't understand how they could even fix their lips to say something stupid like that. The traitor dragon Meleys. Like, that is so freaking dumb, and it was sad for them to do it. You know, people were like, oh, I thought dragons were gods and all this. So yeah, whoever said that it was a black omen, mark my words, they're definitely right. You know, we have Sir Kristen Cole with his stupid behind, who never seems to understand or know how to calculate anything. He's just a failure at all of that. But he thinks that this is going to be a great idea, and, you know, we got the victory and all this. And it's like, the small folk don't care, right? I think in Game of Thrones there was an episode, and I think it was Sir Jorah Mormont. He said to Dany, he was like, you know, the small folk, they don't care what kind of games the high lords and ladies play. You know what I'm saying? I think it was him. I'm not sure, guys. If you know that it wasn't him and it was someone else, please, you know, you could feel free to put it down in there. But somebody said it, okay? They don't care about the games that the high lords and ladies play, okay? They just want good food, good water, you know what I'm saying, and a safe place to live, a peaceful realm. But unfortunately, they're not getting that, okay? And now another thing that I forgot to talk about last night was how Aemon was just pretty much presiding over Aegon's body, you know, and telling his mother, oh, we need a regent. Like, and it was just so obvious because she looks right over at his hip and she sees the Valyrian steel dagger. So she's like, okay, like we already know what Aemon has become, and I already know that he played a part in all of this, right? And of course, the dead giveaway for her was probably the fact that he was just saying, oh, we're gonna need a regent, you know, and he has no feeling about what's going on with his brother. He's not showing concern or anything, okay? Now let's fast forward to, you know, this whole thing with Aemon where he's, you know, he already knew that he was going to be called the Prince Regent. Now he's going out and he's dishing out his tasks and things like that, and orders or whatever you want to call them. But the point is that he seems like he knows what he's doing. However, the city is suffering. They've got bad food, and you know that the people are growing weary of the sea snakes blockade, right? And so the people are ready to leave. And for him to have such an evil plan to lock the people in the city, including merchants, I just think that that's just a recipe for disaster, and he's asking for a rebellion. So I would actually be looking forward to that in the coming episodes. I just want to kind of see things just blow up in Aemon's face, because even though he may be able to rule a little better than his brother because of him being a little more knowledgeable, he's really not a good ruler, as far as I can see, right? Like, just because you have a little bit of knowledge doesn't mean that you're going to be a good ruler. And the fact that you want to lock people in after they're complaining about being hungry, that just really says a lot right there. It says you don't care about the people. At least in the beginning of this season, we saw that Aegon was more, his heart was geared more toward the people and kind of satisfying them. But then his son was deleted, Prince Jacaerys, and that kind of threw him off the deep end. But also you had Otto getting in the way, saying, oh no, my king, we can't do this, we can't do that. So it was like, at the end of the day, Aegon was crippled with a lot of his decision making and his ruling, for all that mattered. And the thing is, because Aemon is so like no nonsense, like, go ahead and say something, I dare you, nobody's gonna challenge him. And so for me, that really means that the realm is in trouble, seriously. Okay, so we'll see how that goes. Like I said, I'm looking for some serious consequences with that. I feel like there definitely has to be a rebellion coming, because they didn't even let the people know that a regent was needed because the king is out of commission. Like, what the heck is going on here? Like, they just don't keep their people in the loop for nothing. So the people are going to continue to see that, okay, these freaking folks up in this Red Keep, they don't care about us. So why the heck should we care? Okay, let's start tearing this place apart. And I'm definitely here for it. And they will be right to do so, because the only way they found out that Aemon was the Prince Regent is when they were trying to leave the city and they were trapped, okay? Like, that's a terrible way to find something out. Because what is somebody supposed to do when they're trapped, okay? You have us now with our backs against the wall, so now it's time to freaking fight back. Like, what should they expect when they treat people like this? Come on now. Now, we know that Rhaenyra is looking for some dragon riders, and her son has come up with a brilliant idea to say, hey, let's go and look through the scrolls and see what kind of family members or what kind of people that were married into other houses have the bloodline. And she said, this is madness, but at the same time, that this is something that she's going to move forward with. It's not a bad idea. It may be madness, but it's not a bad idea at the end of the day, guys. She definitely needs more dragons. We know that in the books, they have like these 3 extra wild dragons that no one has claimed. So I don't remember if they talked about that. I think in the first season, Daemon talked about those 3 dragons. I don't remember. So I'm sorry if I'm spoiling it for somebody. I apologize. But they got to get some dragons from somewhere, because right now they're only talking about 2 dragons that they have that are without riders, but they need more than that, right? But we do have those 3 dragons that are pretty wild, and good luck taming them, okay? But the thing I really want to discuss about this scene is the fact that she was looking at like Visenya for guidance. We know that, well, not everybody knows that Visenya was a true warrior, okay? So she's another one of my warrior chicks that I look up to and everything. And I don't find it an issue that Rhaenyra is looking to her, reading the history books and everything like that. But Jace tells her, like, I hope you don't look to her as an example. And she's like, why not? And he says, because it was a long time ago. And I'm just like, what difference does that make? Like, would that stop men from looking to like a great warrior from the history books? Like, would that stop them from looking to the strategies that he had or that he used that were described in certain scrolls or something like that? Like, why did he say that? Like, that kind of irked me. And just like, this whole episode was honestly irking with a lot of things when it came to the women, but whatever. So that's pretty much all I have to say about that. I do hope that she does continue to, draw strength from the scrolls, that all the stuff that she learned about Visenya. Okay. We know that she's been inspired by Visenya since she was younger. She even named her baby girl Visenya. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think there's an issue with that. I hope that she continues to read on, but also take wise counsel from other people and just kind of like, integrate everything. Some of you may remember that Visenya was also a heroine of Arya Stark, okay? And she was Vhagar's first rider. So my girl got them stats, okay? So why not look to her for guidance? But I tell you one thing, it doesn't help my girl's confidence that every time she turns around, her son or somebody in the council is saying, we need Daemon, So it's like she either gonna have to step up something fierce and prove to them that they don't need Daemon, or she just gonna have to go to freaking Dragonstone and meet up with Daemon, okay? Anywho, so let's move on to Sir Criston Cole, okay? So once again, I'm going to just say that I really don't understand the point of him being there in the small council. I mean, before we knew he was there because he was the Lord Commander of the City Watch and he's there on guard and all that good stuff. But now he's actually the hand, but he has literally nothing to say. The only reason why he said anything during this council meeting is because Larys called him out and was like, what do you say? You're supposed to basically speak for the king in his absence or whatever. And all he could say was, I think Aemon should do it. Why would he go against Aemon with Aemon's crazy self? He's seen that Aemon is a freaking psychopath, so why would he play any games like that, right? And then when Alicent confronted him later on about it, she's like, what happened? Your loyalty is only at nighttime? You know what I'm saying? So like I said last night, I think I said it last night, she couldn't even get backup from him, even though they're smashing, okay? Like, there are no benefits that come with being cuddy buddies, because clearly when the stuff hits the fan and they need to pick a regent or she needs somebody to have her back, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, you're a woman and everybody's gonna go against you no matter what. Even your night boo, okay? So he basically tried to spin it and say, listen, I spared you. You don't think that I spared you? Like, there's a lot of terrible things that are about to happen, and you sure that you want to rule over that, She's like, I didn't ask you to spare me, and I didn't give you permission to speak my name, okay? So, she's pretty pissed off, but he finally let her know that what he saw out there in the field at Rook's Rest was nothing to be played with, okay? Basically, we have given the war over to the dragons, so this means that a dragon lord should lead us, and that is Prince Aemon. And so that is his little excuse. But for me, it was a little hard to read Criston in this episode. I think what happened was in the beginning of the episode when he came through with Maylise's head, he didn't get the reaction that he wanted. Basically parade through King's Landing. He probably thought the people were going to cheer and things like that, but it was really met with disgust and disdain. So I think that kind of took him down a notch and discouraged him, and like really made him think like, wow, I have no idea how to handle the situation, and we are really like at a loss right now. I think he's probably starting to realize that they're losing the people at the end of the day. I don't know if he really cares about the people, but I think that he knows that regardless, we're fighting a war between two families, and then we also have the people who we're not satisfying. We're not keeping them happy. So some stuff is about to really, really hit the fan in these freaking streets. And I think he just understands that there's a lot worse things that are heading their way. Before I get out of here, I do want to mention that I think in this episode was probably the first episode that I didn't hate Allison. I don't love her still. I'm not rooting for her. Of course, I'm not. But she made the most sense. Look, I'm not looking for her to be the Queen Regent, but there's no one else. I mean, I would have rather her put her daughter on there, you know, Helena. But Helena is so gentle and so sweet, and they would just take advantage of that girl, okay? But you know, she said that she ruled in her husband's stead before, but at the same time, we got to remember that it wasn't really her ruling. It was her and her father. We already know he was at every council meeting, and I'm pretty sure even behind the scenes, he was there saying certain things to her, giving her advice with things. We already know this, and we've seen this before, right? So at the end of the day, it was still a man ruling in Viserys' stead. Now, with that being said, I still agree with a lot of the stuff, if not everything, that she was saying, okay? In no circumstances should Aemon be the one ruling, right? He does not know how to control himself, which is the reason why they're in the situation that they're in. But did anybody take that into account? I mean, to me, that was actually like the biggest point made. That should have just shifted everything. But it didn't matter to them because they were like, listen, you're a woman, straight up and down. And Laris is like, well, you know, it really should go to Aemon, because how would it look if we rose up a woman of our own against Rhaenyra? Like, all their reasoning was just really stupid. And this episode was really disrespectful when it came to just women and strength. Like, they were saying, oh, we need strength, as if a woman cannot be strong. And, you know, of course, people are going to say, well, hey, I'm a woman, so. But hey, what are you going to do? It was a different time, right? So there's one more thing that I almost forgot to say before I get out of here, and that was about Daemon when he sent Willem to do his worst against the Brackens. Last night, I totally didn't realize that Daemon did not delete those men, okay? I thought he got Caraxes to burn them down, but when I went back to watch the episode again, I realized that after Daemon said to Willem, I didn't think they would be so eager to die, Willem was like, you should have indulged them. So that gave me the hint right there that he actually didn't do it. And I was like, oh, snap. So I missed that. Like I said, when I do the first reaction recap, there's going to be some things that I'm going to miss. But when I watch it the second time around, I'm able to pick up some more things. So it made more sense because Daemon was saying that they're more value to me alive than dead. Like, I need men. So for me to be burning everybody, that's not going to help. So that was that. That was a misunderstanding. I thought that he Dracarys them, but we just didn't get to see it. But he actually let them walk away. But then again, he kind of made himself look like a punk, right? Like he wasn't a man of his word. Like, if I'm telling you to bend the knee or my dragon's gonna eat you because he is hungry over here, and they're like, oh, we choose fire, and you do nothing, that's a bit weird, Daemon. Like, Daemon is out here really losing his mind. I mean, in season 1, we saw him straight up say, look, bend the knee or you about to get these flames. And if somebody decided not to bend the knee, he flamed them, right? So, unless my memory is serving me incorrectly. Of course I would feel that way. Well, yeah, of course I would feel that way. But also some men that truly know really strong women should also feel that way. But anyway, guys, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And hit that notification bell so you know when I upload more videos like this one. Until next time, take care and be blessed. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.